Survivor Specialist Phil and Alexa are back with our episode 13 predictions for Survivor Game Changers. Supposedly this is the penultimate episode, and by supposedly I mean it is, but we have 8 people left, so I'm assuming with my power rankings that we're going to get a double boot here. Everything I'm doing is based around a double boot because I'd be really surprised if they go into this finale with 7. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. I don't think we've seen a preview. If anybody has one, throw it in the live chat so we can see it because we have not watched it if there is one.
Yeah, shoot us a preview because we're going into these power rankings blind. And it is confirmed that it's a double boot. So we are getting a 6-person finale in 2 weeks. But for right now, we have a 1-hour episode with 2 boots.
Yeah, so this will be like the Will Sunday episode. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes here because who are the 2 people who are most similar to Will and Sunday from last season? It's Troy Zen and it's Aubrey. But one of them has an idol, which is way different. So I don't know if both of them are going to go this week. I think one of them is probably going to end up making it into the finale. The other one I do think is going to end up going home just because that makes sense. But, that's what we're here to talk about.
I think so. Yeah, that's a really good segue. I guess I'll go ahead and start. My 1, 2, 3 are pretty straightforward, but I'll do my 1, 2. I have Sarah at number 1 and Ty at number 2. This should come as no surprise because this is what you and I have had for quite a few weeks now. Sarah is in complete control. She duped Sierra. Sierra admitted it in her exit press. She's got the advantage. She's got a vote steal. She's in the majority. She's voted on this new majority side twice now. And we have only just now seen someone catch on to the game she's playing, and that was Andrea when she was eyeballing Sarah, who was eyeballing Sierra, pretending to be shocked by the vote out. So we could see a little Andrea-Sarah strife. But the thing is, Sarah's got a lot of people on her side. Everyone wants to work with her. And even if they don't want to work with her, she's got 2 advantage working for her. So Sarah is a top number 1 with Ty at number 2. He's got 2 idols. He was in a swing position last week. Could see himself in that position again. And he's got Michaela. He's got the 2 idols. He's doing just fine. I have the people who have advantages right up at the top.
Yeah, and I have Ty at 1 and Sarah at 2, so I flipped them. But Ty at 1, it's a double boot episode, and the thing with Ty is like he's got 2 idols. So how's he gonna go? If Brad, he's not gonna play it for anybody else in this game. I mean, I think that was proven last week. He voted against his former alliance, so he's not gonna play it for Brad. He's not gonna play it for Troy. So Ty's on his own. He's got 2 idols. There's no way he doesn't get through this episode, really. And then Sarah at 2 because she's got the vote steal. And her edit's just insane right now. So I just feel like if Sarah were to not make the finale, that would be really, really shocking. And especially for her to go in a double boot episode would be really, really weird.
Yeah, you make a good point. She is our front and center edit leader. And for her to be the first or the second boot, it's going to be like our Sierra and Tony boot early on. I feel like it's going to be kind of an easy one and then a really exciting boot and or vice versa.
I mean, this just seems like they ran out of time, because, we had a double boot merge where they had 2 hours, and I really think this is just them running out of time. They're not doing this just because it's going to be boring. They're just doing it because they had no choice. Like, they had to get rid of people. They had to decide to do it at some point. They weren't going to do it for Sierra's boot just because, I guess maybe they could have done it for Sierra's boot, but maybe there is a shift of power coming up. They weren't going to do it for they didn't want to do back-to-back. I don't know if they've ever done that, but I doubt they wanted to do, the double boot for the merge and then come back and do another one for Debbie and and Zeke. Is it Zeke? I can't even remember the order right now. Yeah, Debbie and Zeke. And then 9, we have Sierra go. So, I just don't think that, I don't think that this necessarily means we're going to get, Troy and Brad are the next 2 to go here. I just think, they ran out of time and had to do it at some point. And yes, some people are getting screwed by the edit because they're probably going this week. And that's why I have Aubrey so low. But I really do think that this is just because of timing.
Yeah, I think definitely some of it's timing, but there are 2 invisible players here. And just because we're coming off a Will and Sunday double boot, that's why I have Aubrey so low. And that's why that's part of the reason why I think they're doing this. It's like Ozzy going home. And like Ozzy and Haley going. I'm envisioning something like that, but they're also just cramming these next 2 episodes together. You want to throw your number 3 at me?
Yeah, number 3, I have Troy. Even though he's been so invisible, this would be he seems like the perfect edit to go this week. But with the idol, I just don't see him going this week because I don't think he'll play it for Brad. I mean, Troy's out there for Troy right now, and we haven't seen much of it, but in every deleted, every secret scene, whatever it is, every single one of them, Troyzan has been like talking about how he's playing the game, he's playing under the radar, he's purposely trying to stay out of the way. Like he's playing the game for Troyzan, so he's not going to go and play this idol for Brad because that's just going to screw his game. So, and he's not going to be the target. I mean, it looks like Brad and Cirie are arguing with each other, whatever goes on there, and it seems like Brad is in a lot more danger than Troy. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say Troyzan. Yeah, I just don't see it. I'm using him as my eliminator this week too, and then I'll just hope going forward because I only have I only have Troy and Brad left, so that's it.
Yeah, I have Troy at number 3 also. I don't think he's afraid to use his idol, and he's very aware that he's on the bottom. Obviously, there's nowhere to hide at this point, but he'll play that idol correctly, and that could be what Adam and everyone's been referencing, this Troy and Andrea interaction from how many episodes ago. So I have Troy at number 3 too. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, and then my number 4, there's only 8 people left, and I have like 2 people who I think are going, 1 person who might go, and like all that. But like Cirie, I have Cirie at 4. I think she's making it to the finale. I mean, we've seen so much of Cirie, and I know we were gonna like lately. I know that was gonna happen eventually once she started losing, but like we've seen so much. She's gotten like this really good arc, and yeah, it could have ended with her son coming in, but I just feel like she's going to be like the one everybody roots for going into the finale. She's going to fall short probably, but that's just where I'm feeling this is going. I'd be kind of surprised if Cirie goes. I'd be very surprised if Cirie goes in a 1-hour double boot episode for like her 4th time playing. That'd be crazy.
Right. To Cirie, I mean, obviously she's not what Sandra is, but if Cirie gets her own boot, if Cirie was booted at the merge or something, we're getting a face full of Cirie. We're getting a lot of her. So she's not going to be just shoved under the rug in a half an hour. I have her at number 4 also. Like you said, I think she's definitely making it to the finale. They wouldn't have built her up the way that they are for her to just go home right now. And she hasn't had like the winner quote, but I was rewatching the episode and she had a confessional during the reward right after when she was with Jared. And she said, like, having him is the best gift. The only other thing that would make this better is making it to the end or making it to the final. And that was enough for me to say, okay, they would not have put that there unless Sierra's making it. Sierra, oh my gosh, Cirie's making it. Oh God, it's too early for me.
It's too early for you. Get out of here. I'm over here.
Yeah, it's almost noon over here. So yeah, I've got Cirie at number 4. And then I guess I'll go down because we pretty much matched. This is where everyone's getting a little funky. I go with Michaela at number 5. We see a little bit of strife between her and Brad. It sounds like she's blackmailing him. It sounds, from what we're looking at, he's looking for an idol, or she doesn't want him to look for an idol. And then you have Brad screaming, "You're blackmailing me!" And then he's throwing sand into the ocean. I think in the grand scheme of the 4 people that the 4 people that I have left, I think she could stay because she's in a swing position / she's on Sarah's side. Sarah told her about Sierra's advantage that now belongs to Sarah. Sarah, as far as we know, no one else knows about this advantage other than Sarah and Michaela. And Michaela only knows so much about it, but that's huge for Michaela. So she's in a decent position. She's not in a great position, but I have her at my number 5, so middle to bottom.
Yeah, I had her at 5 too, just because like the thing with Michaela is like we haven't seen much of her, and she could easily go this week. Hang on 1 sec. I'm gonna totally go close my window because they decided to do garbage in LA on Saturday mornings. Because why not torture the people of LA more than they already do?
Yeah,
hang on 1 sec.
Go for it. 8:39 in the morning, everyone, and that dump truck is picking up his trash. So this is different. I'm back home in Boston this weekend, so there's no ambulances screaming out my window.
Oh my
it's
God.
Nice and quiet over here in Boston. And
I just do not understand the city of Los Angeles. I just don't understand it.
It's the same thing for us. I wake up at 8:30 on a Saturday, and they're like drilling a hole on my street.
But I don't even like live in the heart of the city. I live on like the outskirts. Like you can't do garbage any other day. Sorry.
Nope.
There's that's my Saturday morning. I was going to be up anyway because I'm just whatever. I have Michaela at 5 too. My thing is Michaela's getting like a small edit. But last week we saw a little bit more from her. She could easily go home this week, but I just feel like Aubrey's got nothing. Andrea, is like very, very threatening. And then Brad would be who they would go for if they go for somebody in that alliance. So I feel like Michaela, although she could start stirring some stuff up, I feel like she could actually pull the Will Wall and overplay herself out of the game after like not really doing much for a while and trying to make her moves because she's finally starting to figure it out.
I think she's getting. I wouldn't say she's been invisible or quiet.
I never said the word invisible.
Well, you said she's been quiet, and she's had a confessional in a lot of episodes. She was pretty central to last week's episode.
Yeah, no, but she hasn't had that much though material. Like she really hasn't. She's definitely like out of the people left. She's like only ahead of Troy and Aubrey.
Well, there's 8 people left.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like in this type of episode, it's probably going to be more invisible people. I mean, that's what happened. I'm basing this off of Sunday and Will going. So, I mean, Michaela easily could go. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like Andrea's too threatening that we're going to see a threat go here because, like, either Andrea or Brad has to go this week, right? Like, one of them has to, and then the other one can be Aubrey or Michaela. Like, I feel like that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, my 6, 7, 8 is, I can run through it right now because we've pretty much matched up 1 through 5. My 6, I go Andrea at number 6, Brad at number 7, and Aubrey at number 8. And Aubrey's not at number 8 because she's a threat. Aubrey is number 8 strictly because I'm playing the edit game and I'm playing the how many episodes are left game. And unfortunately, I think this is where Aubrey's story ends.
I go Brad at 6, Aubrey 7, Andrea 8. I don't see how Andrea gets through this episode just because she's been targeted as a threat by both sides now. Even her own side has said like she's so threatening, we need to get rid of her. So I don't see how she gets through this because then you're starting to let a challenge threat hit final 6, and that's really dangerous. I don't know why you would do that, especially a challenge threat who can actually win. And then Aubrey, the reason I have Aubrey below Brad, even though Brad's in the minority here, we're seeing a lot of like Michaela doing her thing, stirring stuff up. Brad won immunity last week. Maybe he can win it again. And I still feel like Sarah is gonna try to work with Brad and Troy. Like I really do, because she knows she can beat them. So like I'd be really surprised if she doesn't go with them and try to pull Michaela or Ty. And Aubrey, like based on what we've seen of Aubrey, like I just don't see her making the finale. I mean, I'd be really, really surprised. So I have her at 7. I still think Andrea has less of a chance to make it out of a double boot, but I just don't see Aubrey getting through either.
Yeah, Aubrey's going to get hit by one of these 4 advantages / idols that are floating around. We've been talking about that all season, and we've kind of been hoping she's going to pick up, and we've never gotten anything. So this is Aubrey's. Unfortunately, I think this is where Aubrey goes home.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Brad's actually a little okay, which is really surprising. But I mean, I don't think he's in a good position. Like, I don't think he's in a good position at all, but I just think he's a little okay compared to Andrea, who's so threatening, and then Aubrey, how's Aubrey going to go this week? It's only if Sarah flips back to Troy and Brad and they get rid of Andrea, Aubrey back to back. Yeah.
Or Ty plays an idol. Troy plays an idol. Could be one of those weird ones.
Yeah. I mean, totally. Something weird. I hope something weird happens here, because as crazy as it is with all these advantages, I hope it doesn't just happen in final 6 of the finale. That would be like too much, and who knows, it might not be good. Like that might be the swan song for Suri, is just getting idled out by 15 idols.
Oh my gosh, that would just
that's what it's building towards, though. I mean, think about it.
I know.
Sarah, Troy, Ty. I mean, I don't think he'll give his idol up, but he could give one of his idols up to somebody at final 6 or final 5 to make sure somebody goes home so that he can kind of control it. You're looking at like Brad and Suri might be the only two who have, whatever, like don't have an advantage, or Suri and Andrea, or Suri and Aubrey. Like it's scary.
Suri's gonna have to convince Ty to give her both of his idols. That's
right?
That's what she's got to do.
So Ty can go sit down next to her at Final Tribal and whatever. All right. Well, I said I'm using Troyzan for the eliminator. I'll just run through this real quick because that was like 15 minutes to go through all that. But
yeah,
I mean,
that was insanely quick.
Yeah, but I mean, we're at final 8. All right, so I'll just run through real quick the prop bet and the boot list. The boot list: Ginger Arter says 16, Sylvia Espinoza 16, Carnivore 20, Patrick O'Connor 20, Trey Alk 21. Alexa, you still lead that, but You have 54. I have 57. Will has 67. And Vaughn was the one who did this with us, Vaughn Stewart. And he has 33. So he's like, me and Will should have listened to him a little bit stronger. I just wanted to mention that. I don't think we've mentioned Vaughn's on the entire season. We haven't mentioned really his boot list, but he's dominating Will and I, and that's who we did that podcast with. Prop bet, I got 2 points. I forget what it was for, but I finally got 2 points. So Alex, you have 14, Will is 13, I have 8. And then the leaders actually, it's FVN dethroning Adam Klein for now. It's FVN has 23, Adam Klein has 21, Kevin Smith 19, Ben Feller, John Tyree, and Cam Grievous have 18. So that's that fun. We lost 2 more for the Eliminator game, Nikolai Haroon and Doris Lowe. They were getting low on people anyway, so they were not going to hit the finale no matter what. But they ended up picking Sierra last week, so they're both out. And so we're down to 6 for that. I don't have the names in front of me, so I'm not going to rattle through those. But it looks like either Marit Lang or Vaughn Stewart is going to win that, and the rest of us are going to have like one person going into the finale. So that's that.
MVP, LVP. I tallied these up. Sarah gets MVP. Andrea got LVP.
Andrea got LVP.
We got a wide range of LVP options.
Wait,
Sierra
went home last week, right?
Correct.
How is Andrea LVP? We need to change that. She's not LVP.
Well, we have Andrea got votes, Troy got votes, and Ty got votes.
I mean, Troy or Ty is a better. I mean, Troy is really the pick there.
Yeah.
Troy or Ty is the pick. Like Andrea,
we're gonna override everyone's votes.
No, we can override it. Me and Will actually put that into our clause. I'm not kidding. We used to talk about the clause. Me and Will used to talk about it all the time. If there's like an MVP, if people vote for an LVP and they're clearly not LVP, we're supposed to be like, no, that's wrong. MVP.
Andrea didn't do anything wrong. Andrea just didn't win immunity.
Andrea voted on the right side.
Yeah.
Her alliance stayed with her, and she got rid of the biggest threat from the other side. What did Andrea do wrong? How is she LVP?
Great question.
How is she LVP?
Someone
she had an
tell
emotional
us.
episode with her mom coming out and everything. How is Andrea LVP? It just doesn't make any sense. Didn't she win the family reward? Wasn't she on
Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, I'm just saying, no. Guys, you're wrong.
Everyone's wrong. And speaking of Andrea getting an emotional episode, everyone go find Andrea's secret scene. It's like 6 minutes talking about her mom and her sister. And man, it is incredible. She is so well spoken. It's really it was really, really fascinating. It was all about, and I'm sure we can all relate to this, all about how Survivor brought their family together and they all applied together. They're all really into it. It's a great listen. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, check that out. And then revote for LVP because I'm not deducting points from Andrea after last week. Like that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. It's just not
should have snaked the draft.
You should have snaked the draft. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. I'm so confused. Like how?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
Troy didn't do anything. Brad was on the wrong side of the numbers, lost his biggest ally, and did not get the.
Brad should be LVP. He didn't get a single vote.
Yeah,
no one voted for LVP.
Andrea LVP. Brad's LVP.
It has been
serious.
decided.
I'm putting Brad. You know what? I control the stupid thing. I'm putting Brad as LVP.
Hey, this is not stupid.
No, the stupid chart, whatever. There's no way Andrea's LVP. Okay, no. Anyway. And remember, guys, this is coming from the smallest Andrea fan on the face of the earth coming into this season. And I'm like, there's no way.
Literally the shortest Andrea fan you will ever find.
Yes. Well, I said smallest, not shortest. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Let's do some comments. I know this is only 20 minutes so far, but
you want to start with Twitter or YouTube?
Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Nathan Garcia says, "Oh my God, have you guys seen these jury members commenting on Tribal Council YouTube videos? These are so interesting. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen Survivor do, and I'm all for it. But we are now getting insight into who they want to vote for and how they think the tribal went.
And this early on, too. I mean, there's still a lot of seats left on that jury to fill.
I guess they did it because there's only 2 episodes left, and they want you to know, like, before the finale starts, like, this is what people are kind of thinking. But, like, this is really interesting because I know a lot of times when they do at Ponderosa, whenever somebody brings up like this person could win. I remember this happened in Worlds Apart where people like, if Tyler gets to the end, he wins. People would say that at Ponderosa. So you know Tyler's not going to get to the end because they wouldn't tell you in Ponderosa Tyler's going to win and then actually have Tyler win. So I wonder if like this is kind of like just like red herrings. Like this is really weird because it is like, does this really mean like Ozzy's going to go and vote for Sarah or something or whatever? I think he might have said Suri. I don't remember what everybody said, but is that like what this means? Like, is this like going to happen, or are we going
It's
to
a
be like
weird
surprised
one.
when the finale
Oh,
comes?
it was pretty overwhelmingly for Sarah. Ozzy said Ozzy was for Andrea or Suri, which would be so adorable if Ozzy voted for Suri, assuming Suri gets there. But it was pretty much, it was overwhelmingly for Sarah, with some Andreas trickled in, and Ozzy was the only person who mentioned Suri. I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and I just find it weird though. Like, if Sarah is the one who wins, that they would come out and tell us like in these videos. So actually, I would say that those videos actually hurt Sarah's chances of winning, because they wouldn't do that in behind the scenes stuff. Like, they wouldn't tell you this is our winner in behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird, and I haven't seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything so blatant like this before.
Well, and the problem is like this could be like a really bad experiment pretty much for them, because if it turns out like Brad wins this game and nobody mentioned Brad, it's like, oh, so what was the point of those videos? But if Sarah ends up winning or something, and it's like, well, we knew that because you told us. Like, this is kind of a weird situation. I mean, I'm fine with it. Doesn't bother me. I love like the extra material. It's always cool to like actually hear what the jury is thinking before we just get to the final tribal. But I mean, this could be really, this is like just weird.
Yeah, it's a funny one. I don't know how, I don't love it. I don't like it. It's kind of taken away. I don't know. It's taking away the magic of it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
We have Ice X, who says, is it odd that half the remaining players, Brad, Cerise, Sarah, and Troyzan, have 0 votes cast against them 32 days in?
Wow, that's shows how they are as players.
That has to say, I mean, that has to be like, you know, the first time that 4 out of 8 didn't have votes. I mean, that's really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Does Brad really have no votes? I feel like Brad's gotten a vote, hasn't he?
No, you're thinking about blood versus water.
Did he get any votes in Blood versus Water? I'm not sure. Let's see. Michael V. Are we seeing Will Wall's pendulum strategy in motion, although executed by multiple players? I mean, we haven't really yet, but like we kind of have. Like we've seen hints of it, but we haven't seen it full fledged.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen it by multiple players. Sarah like is kind of playing the field, but also not too much because she's voted with this majority more so than I thought she would.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. She's really, I'm telling you, she wanted to get rid of Sierra. Like she wanted to, and like I know, like Sierra's beating herself up. Her exit interviews were great. I mean, Sierra was like, I got played so hard, and it's like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Like, how did you not realize that? And when she even said to them at Ponderosa, like, I gave it to Sarah, they were all just like, really? Like,
I know there was like a moment of silence. They were like, oh,
yeah. And Haley's over there like high-fiving herself, like, damn right. Yeah, that's right, Sierra. Who's not a player now?
Haley's confessional on Sierra's Ponderosa was so funny. She's like, Sierra was instrumental in me going home twice. And now I'm sitting there like, yeah, you freaking gave it to Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a. I feel for Sierra because she really messed up here, and she was playing a good game except for that one moment, and she knows it. And she was tight with Sarah, and I don't know if Sarah would have actually gotten rid of her, but I think like once Sarah knew she was so threatening and knew that she could get something from her, get rid of her. I mean, that's the big move.
I think Sierra really proved herself this season. I've been saying this all along, but she got so much flack for coming on the season, and I'm really happy with her. I really enjoyed watching her.
Yeah, I think it was Gordon Holmes said she gets like the Kelly Wentworth, like, good job, you overachieved this time. I forget what the hell he called it, but you might have also made a mention to the Green Monster, but you know, whatever.
Everyone does.
You're up in Boston, so you understand.
I love the Green Monster.
Tony, hey Phil, 3 things. 1, you have been 100% right about Sierra feeling mad at herself when realizing very quickly at Ponderosa after she is voted off how wrong she was to be so naive and reveal her game advantage to Sarah. 2, I love listening to Parv. She is so smart, and when you hear her talk, it's obviously why she is the best female Survivor player. And 3, info about schedule here in Central Europe is 2 a.m. when it starts. That means you can't start the recap with Alexa before 4 a.m.
Ooh,
oh, God, no. We got to do the reunion, too. I'm not going to be doing that till 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be peppy and pumped, and Phil's going to be even more peppy and pumped because he's having a lot of nice French espresso.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
My boss is going to be so happy when she comes in the next morning, and I'm just like sitting there like with all the espresso just drank, and she's going to have nothing.
croissants everywhere. It's
Yeah.
really
What'd you do, Phil? Well, I had a podcast. I'm sorry.
yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of internet famous.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Do they know who you are? Um, Aaron Weiner, I don't like trying to figure out who's going home based on preview, but looks like Michaela's downfall. Yeah, this preview does show a lot of Michaela.
Yeah, and it's not in a positive light.
No, absolutely not. But I still don't know. I mean, I kind of just like stop paying attention to the previews. Like I don't mean to be like that, but like I kind of just like don't give too much mind to the next time on Survivor. Like the preview that comes out after that, I'll look at a little bit more, which we haven't seen yet. But the next time on Survivor, I mean, it's almost just become like an extra 30 seconds like of Survivor. That's just like, okay, like, yay, something after the credits.
Yeah, it's like, okay, here's a confessional about things blowing up, and here's some people looking at each other, and now we're cutting.
Yeah, exactly. That's really it. Gamer Girl, is there any way for this season to turn itself around for a better, aside from Suri winning? I mean, we could see some idols and stuff. We could see some fun stuff. I mean, this could, to me, this is like mid to bottom tier, but like it could move up a little bit.
Yeah, I still just feel like it's super predictable with how it's going to end.
Yeah. Gamer Girl, which advantage do you think Sarah will play first? Legacy advantage, vote steal, both, or none of the above?
Well, I feel like she's going to use the vote steal first.
Yeah, I think she'll use the vote steal to actually try to sway people. Whereas with like the legacy advantage, she has to use it at 6. I mean, Sarah could easily use this vote steal at 7 to really turn the game on its head, or she could use it this week to really turn the game on its head.
Yeah, exactly. And can you like the vote steal at 5? I don't even know what the rules on the vote steal are.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's the last time you can play the vote steal. I just know like what is it? It's okay. So if she used it this week at 8. Let's say, and she just went over and it was Brad, Troy, and Sarah who voted together, and then she stole a vote, it would be 4-3, right? Would that be 7 votes? Oh, no, there'd still be 8 votes.
For 4-3?
Yeah, it would still be 4-4. I'm thinking about it, final 8. So it'd be 4-4. So she would need to pull one more person with her to actually pull this off and make it work.
Right.
Let's see here. Gamer Girl, why do you guys think Aubrey can beat Sarah? Aubrey has done nothing compared to Sarah. I'm just talking like from like a likability perspective, but at the same time, like, yeah, Aubrey really hasn't done much on this season, it feels like.
Yeah. And also, for what it's worth, maybe Aubrey has done stuff. We just weren't aware of it. But, I mean, at this point, no, I don't see her beating her.
Yeah, her edit's just so low. I mean, it's just like, I say that because, like, she could possibly do it if she got there, but I don't see her getting there.
Yeah.
Darius Retzer, could Suri use the knowledge of Sarah's vote steal against her to get further than her? That scene seems critical to the edit. I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, Suri would be the one to do it. And in the preview, if we're going to analyze the preview, we get Suri freaking out saying, like, I don't think I can do this. So I hope we get her doing something evil.
Yeah, I have to go and remove something else because my
all right, where did you just did I can keep going a couple comments if you have to do something.
Yeah, just roll real quick.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. Phil's going to go, I don't know, probably yell at the trash man because he's doing that at 8:30 in the morning. All right, next up, T-Rex. Oh no, what if Suri does that at final 6 and the legacy advantage idols are out? Let's hope not. I'm right there with you, T-Rex. I don't want that to happen either. I don't think Suri's going to get idled out. This is the second time I've almost called her Sierra. I don't see Suri getting idled out. We're getting too much of a hero, a positive edit. I think Andrea could get idled out by Troyzan. I think Aubrey could get idled out or advantaged out by Sarah. I just really don't think it's going to happen to Suri. What I fear for Suri, and I think what a lot of people fear for her, is that she's going to make it to the finale. She's going to make it to Final 5, Final 4, like she did in Panama, like she did in Micronesia, and they're going to get rid of her because she's Suri Fields, and if she makes it to the end, even against Sarah, she's going to pull out the win. So I don't see her getting idled out. I unfortunately see a sadder demise for her. T-Rex again, very likely to actually happen to end Suri's game, which would play into Sarah playing like a criminal arc. What's more criminal than single-handedly taking out one of the biggest fan favorites in Survivor history? That's true. That would make her a criminal. Well, we haven't heard much of the criminal arc since before the merge, which is kind of fine by me. I think she's proving that she's playing like a criminal. But
how'd you do?
I think I did well. I'm still talking. You cut me off.
Sorry. I use all of my roommate's stuff. So it's very inconvenient when it's like this early in the morning and like my roommate.
We were just talking about how Sarah's a criminal.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, so I just finished up T-Rex comment. The next one up is Survivor. CBS fans, if you're caught up, I can keep going with this one.
No, I got it. Any chance Aubrey pulls a Natalie White? Is that the one?
Yep.
Dope. No.
As cool as that would be, I'm going with a hard no on that.
Yeah.
Sarah is not Russell.
And there's a difference now between like hiding your edit and like the Michelle and Adam wins could be considered hidden, but like there's a difference between that and like what they did with Natalie White. I don't think we'll ever see the Natalie White thing again.
I don't think so either. Oh, when you said hidden edit, I was thinking more of a Danny Boatwright strategy, but I'm surprised no one else has done that because that's freaking genius. But also Jeff has not brought her back, so we'll see.
Well, and the thing is too, like they know, like, yeah, Samoa's really like, you know, pretty positively received, at least because of like just how ridiculous that post merge is. But they also know like people really look down on the fact that Natalie won that season and they can't figure out why. And then Sophie, when she wins, you know, South Pacific, which is one of their lowest rated seasons, like they know like that hiding, like that giving their winners nothing is not good for the show.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to give them a story. You need to give them more heart. And that's kind of what we're getting here. So I don't think Aubrey really has any chance at all.
For sure.
That's it for Twitter, right? At least for now.
That's all I got on Twitter.
That's it. Wow, you tore through those Twitter questions. Wow.
Well, there were only a couple left.
Yeah.
And T-Rex had a lot of questions, so they were all related to each other.
Yeah, T-Rex always keeps them about whatever he talks about first. Anyway, moving on. I don't know. He always does that, so that's why I'm just saying. All right, so over on YouTube, Ishmael Abdel Latif, can someone please explain to me the eliminator picks, boot list? How do I enter those competitions for next season? And then Mr. Brightside says, can I join if I'm outside the U.S.? I mean, I think we've had people join if they're outside the U.S. I mean,
yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Come join. The more the merrier.
Yeah, and we'll get into all of that in the off season. So just keep following us, and you'll end up hearing about it, and then maybe you'll win. Maybe you'll hear your name read off, beating Adam Klein like it's FVN is. But God, I hope Adam listens to this so I can just keep taking shots.
Oh, here's a good one. Orange Mandarin. Phil is most definitely on the beauty tribe. What a hottie.
Yeah.
And then Freethinker 9406. No.
No, exactly. Free thinker, stop free thinking. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tone that down.
Yeah, no more of that. I don't know. That was funny when we were just talking about what would it be. It's like, oh, let's all put our egos to the test. Will would have been over here saying he was on all three. So
yeah, of course.
That's why we need Will.
Triple threat 360.
Yeah. Lie much, bro. Family visits are stupid. They force them to act like they haven't seen them in 10 years. See, this is something I always hear, and I've always heard this from teachers, from family, like anybody who watches Survivor. They always say this. And I think this is one of the most misunderstood things. People are like, I've gone 3 years without seeing my family. I've gone a year without seeing my family. But how much of that was without any contact with them? And also while playing a game that's just like about lying to people. Exactly.
This game, like, you are not eating, you are not communicating. Your only friends are trying to kill you. I would be on the ground with Sarah sobbing too. No questions asked. I file that question along with people thinking that Survivor's fake. There is not a single person who's gone on Survivor and said, yeah, it was cool seeing my mom, but I didn't need it. Like, they all talk about how much they desperately need that.
James,
true. Well,
when his dad came out,
does James care about anything?
When his dad came out in Micronesia, it was like one of the funniest things ever. He's just like, hey, Dad. That's it. Moving on. But no, I mean, I really do think that like people kind of forget that aspect of it. Like, yeah, you like 20 days or whatever might not be a long time to not see your family member, but like when like you said, your friends are trying to kill you. like it's an insanely high stress scenario, and that's what makes it hard. And like some people are like fine with that, and like it's really crazy. Like when you think about like the older days when like people like Pearl Islands, like Johnny Fairplay just brought out his friend. Like that's so funny to me because it's like, here's my friend. Everybody's got their loved ones and is crying, and he's like, yo, man, what's going on? Like, and then of course he has the grandma lie, but he brought out his friend. Like that's
it's like Coach bringing out his assistant coach, which is probably my favorite.
That was amazing.
And then he stretches him on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, and Tyson was pissed because he didn't get promoted to assistant coach. Oh man. All right, we got let's see. Brian, damn, only 2 more episodes. They could easily use give us 3. If Survivor is such a great rated show, why wouldn't they want another episode? The 2 boots in 1 episode always feels rushed. TV's changing. That's all.
Yeah, it's a schedule. I think it's a scheduling thing. I think it's unfortunately not a ratings thing.
Yeah, I mean, people don't. I mean, they don't need to do their 13-week seasons anymore. I mean, look how late it started, and it's still ending at the same time. So that's, I mean, that's really all it is. Sure. What's the next? Are we going on and off here?
I was going to say I'm down to go on and off. You were starting first, but I'm down to swing back and forth.
Swing back and forth because I think.
All right. In that case, Brian, Phil, were you faking internet issues at the end?
I know, right? It seemed like it. I didn't listen to it back, but like I really could not hear Alexa, and I don't know what the reason was.
Yeah, and it was a weird one because Phil and I have both been using Ethernet cords, and dare I say it, our internet's been pretty good this season. So, yeah, I think Phil was just sick of talking to me.
Yeah, probably. Xander, Hazel, Sarah's a complete jerk. She did to Sierra what Tony did to her, lied and finessed her to the max.
I don't know if I'd call her a complete jerk. I think she's playing the game.
She's playing it very, very well right now, and
she's playing a nicer. She's playing a nicer version of the Tony game, which could work for or against her.
Yeah, can she get the votes at the end? I mean, I really don't know right now. I'm still up in the air on whether she can get the votes at the end.
Yeah. All right, here's a good one. This is like mean tweets Phil and Alexa edition. Alex Newell. What was more cringeworthy to watch? Alexa loading up on makeup for Adam or Coach trying to hug every person that was voted out of South Pacific?
Oh my God. See, you just rewatched South Pacific. How cringeworthy is it?
It is pretty darn awkward. It is.
Who does he try to hug the one time that just says like no?
Well, he tries to in Heroes vs. Villains. He tries to hug Rob, Boston Rob, and he goes like, "You're a little man."
No,
and then
that's
in South Pacific, it's like every single one, and he sometimes gets the hug. I think Edna hugged him back, but most of the time they're just like, "Dude, no."
Dude, I forgot about the Boston Rob one's so funny.
Oh, that one is so freaking awesome.
So brutal. You're a little man.
You're a little man.
Oh my God, brutal.
What a good season.
That was so funny. The Elements official, when I saw Worlds Apart, Sierra became my favorite, not really for any reason, you know, how you just gravitate towards certain characters. Then I was one of the people excited to see her back, and I was really amazed at how she proved herself. She shifted becoming my favorite for her strong gameplay. It was awesome to see her take a more villainous narrative. We lost a really strong character, in my opinion. I'd love to see her back, but it seems like the consensus on her is that she still sucks. It's a real shame that she'll never catch a break.
I'm not sure. I think I flipped on her. I'm into her. I feel like a lot of people have. They at the beginning they were still like, I'm not feeling her, but I feel like she's gotten a pretty positive reception.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like it. It's just like, I don't know. I hope Survivor doesn't base who they put on the show based on internet trolls, because then like we're just gonna have nobody. Because like Sierra, I mean, she was getting trolled before the season started, and like the trolls just never went away. So like whatever.
Yeah, trolls are never going away. Yeah, fact of life. Nathan Barnhart. I don't want Sarah to win, but it really looks like a possible winner's edit to me. I don't know if it's a possible winner's edit. I think we're getting a pretty blatant winner's edit.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the winners edit. Like, it's definitely the most winners edit right now. I don't think it's blatant. I don't think it's blatant because like on a normal season, if Sarah's getting this same edit, there's probably other people who are getting similarly large edits. This is just a weird season where nobody's really getting nobody's been as consistent as Sarah. And now because she's picking up, like, I wouldn't consider this this isn't like the Jeremy win in Cambodia where it was like from final 10, you're like, well, that's over. Or the Tyson win in Blood versus Water, where really once Rachel goes, you know Tyson's going to win that season. Like, it's not an edit like that, but this is definitely more obvious than Adam or Michelle or, you know, I don't even, maybe Natalie Anderson. I mean, Natalie Anderson's was a little hidden for a while, but.
People are comparing Sarah's edit to David's, but I don't get that comparison as much because we don't have a Jay and an Adam lurking. Like Jay,
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're getting just David, and that's it.
Exactly, because like the whole thing is like last season, if there's no Jay or no David, Adam's the clear winner. If there's no Adam and there's no Jay, Dave is the clear. Like it just depends on who's around you. And right now, Sarah, there's no edit around Sarah, so I don't think it's so much that her edit is screaming winner. I just think it's more that like.
No one else is.
No one else is even getting close to one. Maybe Brad, maybe Suri. That's really it.
For sure.
Let's see. Nathan Barnhart, Troy Zan, Aubrey, and Ty honestly have no shot at winning at this point. All three are GOATs. I mean, I still wouldn't consider Ty a GOAT, but Troy Zan and Aubrey, they're not going to win. I don't think Aubrey is a GOAT. but she's not going to win. So
yeah, this goes back to like I think the word GOAT is used a little too often. I think Ty has a tough path to victory, but I don't think he has no chance of winning.
yeah, exactly. That totally makes sense.
Emerald Sword Games. Phil or Will needs to be on Survivor, and Icex follows up, or Alexa. Thank you, Icex.
That's you.
That's me.
At least
Thank
somebody
you.
watching. Yeah. Well,
would be nice.
That's what we always say, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Flame Badger, Phil, and Will on the same tribe as Jatia. Will and Jatia would work really well together. They have they do the exact same things.
Literally the same thing. Christopher Herrera, Alexa made a SpongeBob reference. She's officially my favorite person. Heck yeah.
I made a SpongeBob reference like 4 episodes ago. Nobody said that to me.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. Angie Winks, Family Visit have been my favorite type episode, but this one was extra, especially with the extra 2 people picked. Lame. I would have loved to see Michaela and her mom. I think that would have given her a chance to catch up in the social game. I'm still team Michaela.
Yeah, the extra 2 people picked. I like when they pick one, but it was kind of like last year when Jay won and Jeff pretty much just kept adding people until he picked Adam. Like they kind of push it a little too much. Michaela's mom was awesome. She was so cute.
Well, and my problem with this one was when you go on a reward, you shouldn't have the numbers too. Like there's 9 people left in the game. So 3 win. And then it's like pick one. You should only pick one because then the 5 who are going back to camp are the majority. So now you've pissed them off and you're in the minority, but you won the reward. So that's like, the double-edged sword. By taking 2 people, now you've won the reward and you have the majority who are with you. So if everybody else is mad, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's divided 4 and 4, it's still an even playing field.
Yeah, I don't like the whole that they won the reward and they got enough people to get the numbers. I didn't like that. So
yeah. Let's see. Next up, Neo Kuro, Suri and Aubrey are having the same experience that Sandra had in Heroes versus Villains. They are dangerous, but just because they suck at challenges and they're playing very under the radar, they're still in the game. Everyone is so worried about other people like Sierra, Andrea, Brad, Ty, and Michaela, even when this girl can't even win a reward or immunity, and she's less dangerous than Suri or Aubrey. Sarah's getting the strong villain winner edit, in my opinion. If Sarah does reach Final 3 or win after this edit, it'll be a big surprise. I still want to see how Ty is going to waste those 2 idols. Ooh. And Troyzan at this point could probably reach Final 6 or 5 if he keeps playing under the radar and then play his idol to reach Final 4 easily.
The last time he can play it is at 6, right? Or can he play it at 5?
I feel like he could probably play it at 5.
If he can play it at 5, yeah. I mean, if he can play it at 5, Troyzan's in your Final 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say almost no doubt.
I feel like Final 5 is usually the last time to play an idol.
Yeah, so I think he's hitting there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Neil Purohit. Can we just point out that in Wrong Ty names a chicken after the love of his life? I mean, that gift, I hope everybody's seen the gifts.
Oh my God, that gif. I was sobbing. Or did he name the love of his life after his chicken? Think about that, people.
Yeah, think about that. Mark was not named Mark until Ty met the chicken. No, it's great. Gamer Girl Phil, do you remember Sierra in the hammock telling people who to vote for? That definitely screams threat. Also, Brad was the second head of the alliance, and now that Sierra's gone, he is the head of the alliance. Though I do agree with you guys on one thing. In order to get to the Final 3, Brad has to pull Fabio/Mike Holloway and win every single individual immunity from now on, which I don't see happening. But it could.
But it could.
I mean, think about it. If Andrea goes home,
who's his competition?
Brad's the best one at challenges by far. Other than Ty. Ty is still good at them. Michaela's good at them, but Michaela hasn't proven to be good at the individual challenges yet. She's proven to be very athletic and very good at challenges, but we haven't seen her actually be able to perform as well at these individual challenges. And I think I said this before, but it comes with having not made the merge her first time. So she's never done these types of challenges.
Right. And it is a different skill set doing these physical challenges, these running challenges versus these endurance challenges. And a lot of it comes with having experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
All right. Args13 with the most important comment of the week. Phil, bring back the beard. You are not allowed to be beardless.
Yeah, it'll come back eventually.
Yeah. That's what happens.
It's amazing how it just comes back every time. Yeah. Gamer Girl, did Gamer Boy take his name because he's inspired by me, or does he have a crush on me? What's going on here? I need an explanation. Maybe Gamer Boys will.
Oh, maybe he is. The plot thickens. All
Oh
right.
man.
Sealy, 113.95. Underrated Survivor game changers moment, and maybe the best moment of all. Sierra's Ponderosa, when Debbie, after being absent for some time, comes out of the abyss and startles Sierra by yelling, "Hey, cowgirl!" It was scary and exciting all at once, and Ice X follows up. About as apt a description of Debbie as I've heard yet. The friendship between her and Sierra was nice to see. It seems like they've really had a tight relationship, and I wish we got to see more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering that whole time watching Ponderosa. I'm like, where the hell is Debbie? Like,
Yeah.
where is she? Like, I thought Debbie was mad at her. Like, that's what I thought had happened. And I was like, why is she mad? And then that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I was into that.
Yeah, that was great. Let's see. Dalving Probe said he wanted to make the game less predictable last reunion. Maybe Sarah's edit is just a setup.
I don't think that's funny you said that last reunion because I feel like Adam's win was not super predictable.
Yeah, I mean, once he was in the final three, it was predictable.
Oh, yeah, at that point.
Maybe Troyzan hits the final three and wins.
Who knows?
God, that would be a big mistake on the editor's part because there's plenty of Troyzan material you could be showing us.
Yeah. Who needs stakes? Is that what he said in the...
Who needs stakes?
Right? Yeah, who needs stakes? Something like that.
Oh, no, it was we don't need no steak.
We don't need no steak. That was it.
Yeah. Go on.
Augustus Hamill. Is Michaela a hero or a villain? I want to say hero because she plays a mainly honest game, but no one seems to like her. It's a good question.
She's a villain.
Yeah.
Because of her personality. They put people on the villain tribe. Look at Coach, who claimed to be the most honorable person ever. They put him on the villain tribe because he is a villainous personality.
And he owned it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they put people on the villains tribe. Boston Rob never turned on his real alliance. I mean, I know he had the Lex thing, but it's his personality that puts him on the villains tribe.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Morgan Spriggs. Aubrey is packing for Ponderosa, and she's ready to eat coleslaw and egg. I like that it's just and egg.
A singular egg.
This season, and then she goes on to say, this season has more twists, 5, than Troy, I guess, confessionals in the last 5 episodes.
Oh, that is awesome.
Jesus.
Oh,
that's brutal.
This is a bit of a long one. Haley Vick, 17. I'm bummed that Sierra Dawn Thomas is gone. I was probably one of the few people excited that both her and Haley were returning, excited to see them back. I thought they deserved second chances. Now they're both gone. It sucks. But I'm proud of their games. Sierra didn't make it as far as she did last time, but she was so much more visible, so much more dynamic, and more of a shot caller. It's great watching her in action. Kudos to her. She'd betted a lot of people, thought she would, and she doesn't deserve all the hate she's been getting. Heck yeah. BTW, I loved the move that Sarah made, but I hated seeing Sierra go home because of it. Then kind of goes on about how Sierra shot herself in the foot.
Yeah, and she did, and she knows it. So.
And she did. Hey, at least she owns it. That's important.
Yeah, no, she knows she did. Richard Underwood, do you guys think reward challenge should be gotten rid of when rewards tied to individual immunity? I mean, it's weird how I know I've seen a lot about this, but like that episode was a half hour before we actually got done with the reward challenge. And I know it was a loved one visit, but it was a half hour before we got done with the challenge. And what did we really see? I mean, we saw the loved ones come out and that was everything, but like we didn't see anything else game wise, which is crazy. For a half hour, we really saw like 2 minutes of gameplay.
Right. And I'm okay with it because I love the loved ones visit and I want these character moments. And also I feel like we could have got, well, we can always get more gameplay, but I don't want these, like we also only got 2 minutes of like Monica flipping some sausages and like cooking, and that was kind of it. We could have gotten more gameplay, but at the same time, I feel like I'm happy with the gameplay that we got. I am in the camp of I want these challenges to actually mean something.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying like reward challenges they're not as necessary as they once were. Like we don't need to see the reward challenges all the time anymore. Jake
Roush. Do Aubrey and Troyzan's edits kill both of their chances to play again?
No.
I don't think they kill. Aubrey, I think, could easily be a 3-time player. That's like a no questions asked. Troyzan, I'm not really sure. I guess depends on his reception this season. But he got a poor edit, so I don't know. I'm liking him, but I'm not seeing much of him, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, and the thing is with Aubrey, and this comes back to like the old the pool of the iconic male characters from earlier seasons is bigger than the pool of iconic female characters from earlier seasons. I mean, look at Heroes versus Villains. We had Candace and we had Danielle on. Two people you're not thinking are on the same level as Colby, Rupert, all of that. So it's interesting how like that works. Aubrey, I mean, she's got a huge fan base, even though we haven't seen that much of her. Like she's like kind of like Courtney to me. I'm sure that if if they asked Courtney again and Courtney was on her screen again, people would be so pumped to see Courtney play again. Like even though she got like nothing. Look at Tyson. Tyson got nothing in Heroes versus Villains. He got nothing. He votes himself out, and he seriously got nothing. They brought him back with his girlfriend, who really Rachel, like she was okay TV. Like Rachel wasn't going to be great TV. Rachel wasn't like Hayden, where it was like we'll bring Kat back so we can get Hayden, or we'll bring Monica Culpepper back so we can get Brad, or we'll bring Colton in so we can get Caleb, who's like nobody would expect Colton to be dating Caleb. All that, but like they brought Tyson back after all of that with Rachel. And so I think Aubrey, easily has a chance. Troyzan, I wouldn't completely count out Troyzan either because I would definitely say Aubrey has a better chance. Troyzan's chances aren't very high, but I wouldn't completely count it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And this isn't a great example, but Serena and Sandra haven't played in like 10 years. And they're different. They're a whole nother tier. But what I'm trying to say is that production's not going to forget about people. They're not going to forget about Aubrey or Troyzan.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Shea T789, the Legacy Advantage is clearly a terrible name. What should it be called?
So that's a problem. It's a terrible name, but I'm not creative enough to have a better one.
Yeah, I don't do good names.
Shea T789 again. Which is better, Lost or The Leftovers? Phil, I see that you commented on that. I don't watch The Leftovers, but Lost is my favorite show that isn't Survivor, so I'm going to have to go with Lost.
Yeah, I said Lost. Leftovers is great, but Lost, I mean, come on.
Right.
I love the Lost haters are my favorite people in the world because they're just bitter, angry people who will never find happiness.
Never.
Never. How can you find happiness if you hate Lost? Like, I'm sorry.
And I'm sure. I think IceX tweeted at me. A lot of people will tweet at me and say, "Hey Alexa, I see in your bio that you will forever defend the ending of Lost." And I'm getting people are not happy about it.
I mean, I will too. We should do an entire podcast defending the ending of Lost because the petty arguments. We're at 108 viewers too, which is really funny right now. But anyway,
yeah.
But the little baby, like they didn't tie together why the statue was there. It's like, oh, okay. Do we need to know why somebody built it? Yeah. What do you want? Oh God, that was why I came to the finale. I don't care what happens to Jack. I need to know what happened to this statue. But yeah, so I will forever defend the ending of Lost too.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We're on the same page.
And I'll do the entire podcast in that obnoxious voice I just did.
Your little Phil baby voice. Okay. Anyway,
what about this?
All right. Before we alienate more viewers, John Costa, does Michaela not know that the legacy advantage can be willed after the person is voted out? I feel like she wouldn't have swung to Sierra so easily if she knew the advantage would still be in the game. John Heddles follows up. Sarah didn't tell her part of that based on what we saw on the show, and she wasn't on the jury to see it play out in Millennials versus Gen X. Sarah made a great move by not telling Michaela the extent of the legacy advantage, and that was Sierra's downfall, the fact that she did tell Sarah that.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting, actually, how like when Sierra brought that up at Ponderosa, Zeke was like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. Like, I almost feel like Zeke knew that was out there. And, like, they might have been, like, talking about it, but Sierra might have shot it down because it seemed like they had that conversation. Zeke was like, oh, yeah, see, I told you.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm like off the page. John Costa, I think Adam might get his wish of Troyzan idling out Andrea next week. I mean, we have 2 boots for it to happen.
Yeah.
John Heddles, Michelle definitely wasn't hidden in the co-wrong edit. Edgic had her as the favorite to win from right before the merge on. My whole problem with Edgic is that there's like 7,000 different Edgics. So it's not like there's just one, like, here's the Edgic for this season. There's like thousands. So like you can say like, yeah, they had Michelle to win. All I'm going to say is if you go and look at every single place that does Survivor, podcasting, whatever, go look at their predictions. Nobody had Michelle except for me. And I had to convince Will too. Like nobody had Michelle. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Edgic has like its own like dictionary. Like there's so many different types of Edgic. There's so many words that go with it. Everyone has their own interpretation of what Edgic is. I think there's like a thread on Reddit that's like, what do you think that Edgic is? Because no one can agree on what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Because now it's just taking on so many meetings. Because like, think about how much invisible gets thrown around, and really the only person who's been invisible at all during this season was Andrea in like episode 2, I think it was. Like invisible doesn't happen anymore. Like, but people will be like, "Oh my God, Troyzan's invisible." Troyzan's nowhere near invisible. Troyzan is not near invisible at all. Troyzan is a part of every single episode. Troyzan's just not getting confessionals.
Yeah,
and of course too, like Edgic to me in returning seasons almost means nothing because we know that there's spoilers out there.
It's a different ballgame with returning seasons for sure.
You know, when people sit here and say, you know, this person has a winner's edit, this person has a winner's edit, this person, I'm like, oh, do they? Do they? Or do they from episode 1? Or do you just know how to read? Like that's kind of like the mindset I get in with the returning players. It's hard. It's really hard to keep it all hidden. So
it's like, did you actually think that like Troyzan's getting to the final? And like, I don't know.
Exactly. It's like, where are you reading? So let's see. Let's
move on.
We have John Heddles. Sarah made sure not to explain those. Wait, did we read that?
It's kind of he kind of like had said the same thing before.
Okay, so then did you see that's the jury members. Okay, so here we go. John Heddle says, see the videos of each of the jury talking individual at Tribal. So now he actually breaks it down. Haley had Sarah as her number 1 choice, but was unimpressed with her performance at Tribal. Debbie's number 1 was Sierra. Now it's Andrea. Ozzy's number 1 is Andrea or Sari. Zeke's number 1 is Sarah, but thinks other jury members might be bitter towards her. And also really likes Brad. Shockingly, only Ozzy mentioned Sari. Is she a ninja that even the jury doesn't notice her?
That's an odd one that they're not noticing her.
I think they are. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like for CBS to go out there and say this is who's going to win our show before we actually hit the finale, they're trying to hide that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. Like, it's really, really weird. And I don't know. I like all of that makes me think like Andrea doesn't have a chance and Sarah's got a hard time. I mean, there's been more negative about Sarah. So like Haley has Sarah, but was unimpressed with her performance. Zeke has Sarah, but thinks others might be bitter towards her. They could be trying to hide it there if Sarah were to go on to win. So that one makes a little bit more sense. But like Andrea, nobody's saying anything negative. So like I would pick Andrea. When Andrea goes, there's no way they're going to let Andrea win because like there's no clause to why you'd pick Andrea.
Yeah, makes no sense. Nick P, if you think about it, most of the non-All-Stars are gone. We still have Sari, Aubrey, Ty, Andrea, and Troyzan. All people who would have easily made it on a legitimate All-Stars. There are only 3 people left that most people who have said is a waste of spot. Sarah, Brad, and Michaela, which they have so far all proven to be playing really well. I don't think this is an All-Star season at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's like kind of the crazy thing is like, think about how many times Troyzan's almost been back on the show. And now they give him like such a little edit. Like he was supposed to be, Malcolm took his spot and, you know, second chances he could have been on Blood versus Water. Like, and now like, so like, it's crazy. I know it's weird.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, he was so close so many times and now he's finally on and we're not getting it. It makes no sense.
It's weird. Mm-hmm. Ice X, could there possibly be another idol out there? Ty would be Final 4 for sure if he found it. What would happen if a played idol or 3 caused a tie vote? Is there a situation where everything gets played, the challenge winner's idol, 3 or 4 idols, both legacy advantages, and there's a tie vote and nobody's eligible to draw the purple rock? That's something I'm really considering, and I don't know how that would work if like at Final 5. That's probably why they make the legacy advantage be used at 6. Mm-hmm. And that's probably why like the legacy advantage and the 3 idols. So somebody can still go home. That's probably why they don't let you use it at 5.
Yeah, because then we get a no vote situation,
mm-hmm. Which they don't want.
They do not. Survivor is life. I believe that even though she wasn't in most of the season, I still think Sandra played one of the best games this season. Man, Sandra feels like a million years ago.
I know, right? That was so far.
Yeah, man, that was a long time ago.
It was like her doing, what was she? Was like Hearts of Reality or something, and she's like doing like yoga or something. It's great.
Yeah. No, Sandra absolutely crushed it this season.
Let's see. Brochacha Survivor, Sarah has to win if she doesn't. Editing has been great, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
And then Brochacha Survivor, so far the eliminated contestants who have gotten less confessionals than Troyzan are Sierra, Caleb, and Ozzy. It's so funny that Ozzy like actually has like almost the least. He has 8.
Yeah. He
It's
has like no.
crazy.
He had like no content, but he still felt like an integral part of.
Yeah, he always felt like he's just because it's Ozzy. Like,
Yeah, because he's Ozzy. He's always going to be like the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Beam, Alexa, don't lose any weight. You look fine. Thank you.
Icex wants to know where
yeah.
your caricature and what your nickname is.
And he wants to start a petition. Where do we march? Yeah, this is a big thing. TBD. We will. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't have a nickname for you. I know Will just came up with the nicknames.
Yeah, and they were a visionary. All right, I'll have to come up with one.
He thinks he is. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, actually, here let's do something fun. If you guys think of a good nickname for me, comment on it. I want to see what couple things you all have to say about me.
I just want it to be like Phil the historian, Will the visionary, and Alexa the girl.
Yeah, Alexa, insert female here.
Yeah, the girl. I think that's a good one. And then your caricature will just be like, it's like, whoa, we have a girl. Whoa.
Well, I know you guys are using those I know I was talking to Will, you guys use those Bitmojis for that. I have a Bitmoji and all my friends tell me it looks like Dora the Explorer.
You were talking to Will?
I know. It's very
difficult.
Whoa. Yeah, oh, big stuff. All right. Here's like the comment.
Hey, this is playing off of the last one, so.
Yeah, this one's freaking awesome. Brochacha Survivor. I'm going to guess where you all were 10 years ago. Phil, getting straight Fs, splitting time between being a gang member and living in his mom's basement.
Where I started this podcast.
Alexa, dissing boys and getting dates, and straight A's by having boys do her homework for her. Spoiler alert,
which is pretty much this podcast.
It wasn't Phil because Phil was getting straight Fs. And Will, the athletic nerd.
How do you feel
about this, Phil? This is all extremely accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about this podcast. I started it in my mom's basement and I do all of the work for Alexa. That's how I feel. And she gets all the credit.
Yeah, no, I get all the credit. Hold on.
All of it.
Yeah. I'm honored you think I got straight A's because I can assure you that didn't happen.
Yeah, straight F's. Thanks, guys. Middle Earth Lamb, at this point, someone's going to target someone who they think has an idol. It has been long overdue that no idols have been played yet. This must be the reason why the hidden immunity idol at Tribal has yet to enter the game. We're just hype in the preseason press. Love the dedication you guys both are doing. And Phil, I just knew you liked the leftovers as well, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you're super into that.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, no, I might give it a shot.
But yeah, no, I kind of really hope that an idol gets played because I'm like tired of. Are you looking at the live chat?
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Okay, anyway, sorry. But I kind of hope an idol gets played so that we can see this because this was so hyped pre-merge, and I just don't think that I don't think they expected people to be able to go this long without playing idols in a season called Game Changers when Jeff's going to be ramming it down your throat, pushing you to make these big moves. Nobody's had to.
Yeah, I know.
They kind of put themselves in a weird spot.
Yeah, they kind of did. All right. Sonia Kenny, Sarah is playing like Dawn, too personal, acting like a true friend to gain information, not just alliance friendship. It's old school versus new school, which doesn't value flip-flopping, just like Jeremy winning over Spencer. If it's Brad versus Sarah, Brad wins. Her acting like she doesn't know who voted for him in tribal council will not bode well. So that's the back and forth on if Sarah makes it to the final tribal council, are people going to be, hey, you played me, good job? Or are people going to say, hey, you acted like you were my best friend and you're a bad actor, so no, you're not getting my vote. And this sounds like this comment's going that way. Which brings up a good point.
Sarah's going to have to make a really good argument at the final tribal, I feel like. And I think she can. I think she really can, but she's going to have to.
Yeah.
John Heddles, I was hoping for the Cerise, Sarah, Sierra final three in which the misspelling resulted in a Sierra Easton win. That would have been something, considering she's not one of your three there. Do you think if Sierra had just told Sarah about the immunity at Final Six part of the legacy advantage and not about having to will it to someone after being voted out, that she would still be in the game?
I think she would be, because when Sierra first tells her, Sarah says, now I want to keep her.
Yeah.
That's how she starts. So she'd have a much better chance of being in the game.
Yeah, it's a weird spot because when you say I'm going to will it to you, she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Give me it. But it's like, oh. Yeah, like it's a bad situation because it's like, oh, you're going to give it to me. Okay, cool. Let's do it. And then that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
New Evolution time. Sierra was a replacement for Natalie Anderson after she had to back out. Carolyn, Corinne, Sophie were also rumored to be on the season. How do you think each of those four would have done had they replaced Sierra? I mean, it's impossible to know it this season. Carolyn would have done.
Oh, God.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say Carolyn probably would have done the best just based on how the voting went this season, but
Yeah, I was going to say, Sandra would have brutally murdered Natalie Anderson just because she doesn't want there to be another
exactly.
two-time winner.
Poor Natalie Anderson would have
I
had
know.
no shot because of Sandra. ALZ train, would you guys say Michaela is like the Abby Marie in Cambodia? She's nowhere near the GOAT that Abby, but it seems as though everyone has Michaela in their final three, and the only way she'd be targeted is so that the GOAT doesn't take up spot.
Yeah. I mean, I get the Abby comparison. I think Abby's a more intense version, though.
Yeah, Abby's definitely more intense, but yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally see it because people want to take her, but what happened to Abby in that season? She got what, 6th place, 5th place,
Yeah.
whatever it was. She didn't hit the final three.
No,
So.
she certainly did not.
Oh, she got 7th place, right? She was all the way back there.
Yeah.
Wow.
MLG Wet Walrus, sneeze, Suri better win.
Why sneeze?
I don't know, maybe trying to be discreet? Or maybe they sneezed and just wanted to make it more realistic for us.
Make it more realistic. Jason Hurley, if we had a final three of any of the four, Aubrey, Troy, Zantai, Michaela, who would win? See, now I'm hoping my internet's okay when I'm, in France so we can do the prediction podcast, because I like doing the prediction podcast for the finale because we break down like the 6 people who are left and like every possible scenario for like them to win. Like we obviously go with like the more important ones. Like last season, I don't think we even addressed the fact of a Hannah, Brett, and Ken final three. Like we didn't even really address it because it just wasn't not worth breaking down. But
right,
this is one of those that we probably wouldn't break down too much. But if that's the case, based on the edit tie, based on like who seems like they actually like have like the most respect from the jury, either Aubrey or Troyzan, but like that's none of them. That's never going to happen. So
yeah, that's going to be a tough one to even just get to.
Yeah, exactly. Ice X. Now that we have Gamer Girl and Gamer Boy, how long before we see Gamer Baby? Probably about 9 months.
Yeah, that's how science would work.
Well, Mandy Brown says, did you guys see Survivor producers confirm next season having 3 tribes, red, blue, and yellow? Worlds Apart 2, question mark?
Everyone's been talking about Worlds Apart 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Worlds Apart 2. I mean, Worlds Apart wasn't that well received of a theme, so I don't think it'll be Worlds Apart 2. It could be something similar.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like One World. Like the theme itself, it's like, man, but because like the season overall wasn't well received, it'll be hard for them to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Wences Acosta, hypothetical situations that never happened. This sounds fun. Since Tony and friends were targeted right after, if Sierra wasn't first gone, could you see her at least making it to the second tribe swap?
Yeah, I could. If Sierra didn't go first, I think she would have been okay for a while.
If Tony could have found the idol, let's be real, the water clue was made for him. Would he have known to play it then and basically send Aubrey home? He was kind of with Aubrey.
Yeah, he liked Aubrey. He wanted to play with Aubrey because he looked at Aubrey as a threat. He wanted to play with Aubrey and Sandra, and then he was just an idiot to Sandra.
Yeah, Aubrey was kind of like his red herring vote.
Yeah.
If Sierra went home instead of Malcolm, how different would the Lions and the Sandby alliances, considering it would have saved JT's butt as well?
I have to be honest. I liked Sierra on this season, but if Sierra goes there, this is a better season. Yeah. This is a much better season. And not for nothing, think about everything that's happened since that episode. Malcolm would have still been there. JT would have still been there. That whole Zeke Varner thing probably never happens. And then like Sandra's probably still around because that tribe was so good. That tribe wasn't going to lose. If they lose Sierra, Haley's the next boot, and then Debbie, because it would have just been Brad and Ty. Like that tribe would have gone to the other tribal councils. So that's what makes it hard. I mean, I liked Sierra and everything, but I actually think that boot, it being Malcolm, I said this when it happened. It was a short-term thought process by the producers. You said this is going to be a great episode, but what's it going to do for the season? And it hurt the season in the long run. I really feel that.
Yeah. What has it done? Nothing great.
Is there more to that?
There's 2 more if we want to keep doing them.
Go ahead.
If Sierra went home instead of, we already did that one. If Debbie would have saved her double vote, would it have made any more impact when Sarah flipped?
Well, she could have tied it, right? That's all she could have done.
She would have been able to tie it,
but I don't think she saw it coming at all. So I don't think she would have played it.
No, because she was all, we're solid.
Yeah. So I don't think she would have known.
And then finally, if the Sandra Varner alliance by miracle made the merge, would either really have been targeted since neither are physical threats? Yes, I know Sandra's a 2-time winner, but she was working magic and could have had a dream alliance of Ozzy, Cirie, and Sandra. I would have liked to see Cirie and Sandra play together because we never have. And not be allied, just like interact with each other.
Exactly. And I think that would have been good. I mean, we were seeing what Cirie's doing right now where she doesn't have a vote yet. And I think that could have been Sandra too. If Sandra hits the merge, I think she's okay. I'm telling you, that damn Malcolm boot. Oh, and honestly, I don't care that it's Malcolm. I'm okay with it. Like, whatever. It's just the way it went down and the effect it had on this season was like devastating.
Yeah. That sent shockwaves.
Gamer girl, could Aubrey get idled out? Yeah, probably.
For sure.
She's getting something similar to that. Ice X, which final three would you be most surprised to see? It was just mentioned before. It'd be like Aubrey, Troyes, and Michaela. There's like no way.
Where's Cirie?
No, I wouldn't be that surprised with Cirie. At least she's gotten
so surprised to see Cirie in the final three.
Yeah, but imagine a final three of Michaela, Troyes, and Aubrey based on what we've seen so far.
Based on like alliances, yeah.
Like I would be like, what? But Cirie getting to the final three, I'd still be surprised, but she could plan somehow do it. Wentz Acosta, what do you guys have planned for the off season? We got some things that we're trying to figure out.
Some good stuff. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're hoping to try to make good things happen. I don't know,
like a Dora the Explorer emoji.
Everybody's been so pumped about the Lost idea. We will just.
I know people are really into it. I got to do a Lost rewatch. I've been watching a little bit.
I've watched it 3 times, so like I could totally do it.
Yeah, well, that's why you got F's in your mom's basement.
Exactly. I got F's in my mom's basement because I just kept watching Lost over and over again, trying to figure out what the hell that statue was doing.
Yeah. Arcs 13, the season started late due to the TV show Hunted, which took up Survivor's time slot. If Hunted were to get renewed, it should move its time slot. Well, there's our answer.
Oh, I knew that, but I just think, I knew that it was Hunted, but that's what I'm just saying. Like TV changes so much. Like people are like, oh, well, they're rushing it and all that. Survivor's always had, other than like the early seasons, obviously, they've always had like an hour episode where there's 2 boots.
For sure.
And like nowadays, like people just binge TV. Like the ratings are at like 8.1 or something, whatever. Like Survivor still wins Wednesday nights, but it's the lowest it's ever been. Mm-hmm. So like they don't need to have 13 weeks of episodes. They just do, 9 weeks of episodes, and they're like, okay, cool. People are going to watch it anyway, and they get their streaming services and all that. So it doesn't matter as much.
Those cord-cutting millennials, can't trust them.
No, you can't. But I do agree that Hunted should move its time slot because I'm for more Survivor. So
yeah, for sure.
I love doing 13 podcast weeks every season. So keep that going. You haven't read one in a while. I just started going. Go ahead.
Did you? I just did Arcs 13.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah,
I'm like losing my mind. Ryan Taylor, who are you all rooting for to win and who do you want out? I'm rooting for Andrea with Cirie being a close second. This might come as a shock, but I want Sarah out so that someone else can emerge as the ringleader. Yeah, I want Cirie to win, and I would probably say that Sarah is like the one I want out the most just because it's like, okay, then we won't know who the winner is, and because I don't know. I said it in my last episode. I'm not buying what she's putting down.
Yeah, I'm all in on Cirie winning, and I don't want Sarah to go because I don't like her. Not that I don't like her. I think she's playing a good game. I just hate that I'm being told that Sarah's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. CVB, who do you think is getting the worst edit this season? I say Aubrey. Troyes at least has a story arc of some sort. Also, where is Alexa podcasting from this time? I am home in Massachusetts for Mother's Day.
Lame.
Loser.
Who goes home for Mother's Day?
I told my mom, by the way, that I wouldn't pick her to be my loved one, and she was mad.
Oh no, my whole family like listened to that. It was pretty funny. My dad was pissed. He's like, I might not be the most athletic, but I'd win all the yard games. So we'll throw him on a season with Terry and Troyes, I guess, because that's really all he wants. Yeah. And then my sister, she said that it wouldn't even take her like that long to start complaining.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the worst edit here, I do think it's Aubrey. And a lot of people say it's Troy, but with expectations and everything, the expectations for Aubrey were so high. She's such a fan favorite from Korong. And she really hasn't gotten much at all. So I would say hers is the worst because like that person just said, Troyes has an arc. When Troyes came on the island, he went to that tribe. He was on the bottom. He found an idol. He kind of got like to work his way. And now he's not at the top, but he still has the idol and he's playing under the radar. What's Aubrey's arc? We didn't see anything from when Sierra got booted. We didn't really see anything when Tony got booted. She was on the wrong side of the vote when JT went home. Like, what is really going on with Aubrey? We haven't seen anything.
And I thought Aubrey was in deep trouble early on because of how big of a name she is.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob K, what a great Monica moment, which ended with her being right about Michaela. They almost pulled it off.
Yeah. It's almost like Monica has made it to the final tribal council.
Yeah.
CVB. I think you need to apologize to Alexa for giving a grief for picking Sari in the fantasy game. Heck yeah. It's not you I'm pointing at. I'm pointing at Will.
Yeah, you better be, because that was Will who gave all the grief, and I'm in first place, so I don't have to apologize to nobody.
Yeah, no, you would. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be such a jerk to Will.
Yeah, you have to be. Mark Dean, time to podcast a loss rewatch on Survivor off seasons. I think so. I mean, I would actually be down.
That's like a really good idea. Yeah.
Do people like that? Like, do people want that? I feel like people like don't people like. I know it's been 7 years since Lost ended, but like, are people like over Lost, or like, are people down for that? Because I would totally just like do like 3 episodes, watch 3 episodes, and just like do like one podcast per like 3 episodes. Like, I'd be. Totally
I feel like Lost still has a cult following.
Yeah, I know it definitely does, and
I think people would be down for it, especially now because it's not like Game of Thrones where everyone's podcasting about Game of Thrones. Like, what Lost podcasts are out there right now? So,
well, and the best part about Lost, the problem with Game of Thrones, like, I've read the books, but like, I'm sorry, I don't remember what colored cloak like Arthur Dane wore. Like, my bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be good. I would not be good at a Game of Thrones.
Like, I can't podcast about Game of Thrones even though I read the books, because you get like those people who like obsess over it and like live in Westeros in their mind, and like that's like crazy. Like Lost, at least like that was just a TV show. So it's like, how much do you really get? You just watch the show and whatever those little shorts that they did in between the seasons that one time. So
yeah, exactly.
I'd be down.
Yeah, I'm down. OMG, it's Jake. Do you think Michaela will be in trouble based on the preview? She's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah. We have her both at our, number 5.
Yeah, no, she's in a little bit of trouble, but not like a lot. She's in the bottom half, but
yeah, for sure.
OMG, it's Jake. Do you think that Cody has any chance of getting to the end? Assuming they're doing this from their phone. Cody is supposed to be Sari. But I still say no. And there's not going to be a final 2. Michaela does not have a shot at winning. And I don't think Sari has a chance to get to the end. So I just answered all of your questions with no's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
That's it.
Oh, good job, Phil.
I know. I can't believe I made it through it. 9:47 in the morning. I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm so tired.
Hey, Troy just hopped on.
Did he?
Sup, Troy? He goes, I just joined my favorite podcast. What's going on?
Hey, Troy. We
hey.
We're trying to make it. Well, he's I wonder if he's at this part or if he's at the early time.
Yeah, I was about to say it's crazy, and we're just like kind of awkwardly finishing up here.
Awkwardly finishing up, and we just kind of went through and we kind of said that you didn't have a chance to win. Shit. But based on this edit, just being honest. But this is gonna be really interesting. Like whoever brought up that comment with Jeff they're eating and saying he wants to make it more unpredictable. To have a season called Game Changers and then give your winner like nothing would be like oh, good job, CBS. Like, way to back up your title by giving them absolutely nothing. Like, that would be crazy.
That'd be so freaking funny. That would show so much like self-awareness on their part. I would love that.
Do you think that okay, this week, here's the most important prediction. Does Troyzan get a confessional this week?
God, I hope so.
I think it has to happen.
I think, yeah, just because it's a double boot. He's going to be involved because he's in the minority right now. It's going to happen. You heard it here first.
It has to happen. It has to. Yeah. I don't know. But this week, I'm just trying to think. So this week, Andrea, Aubrey, Brad. I think those are your 3 who are in danger here. Maybe Michaela. But we'll see.
We shall see. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. So this is the last time we'll be podcasting from here.
Yes.
I'm really worried for all those people who like live in I know we have some people who like listen from like Greece and all that. Does anybody know like how well does like Google Hangouts work there? Does anybody know?
Yeah, definitely. Phil, I would definitely try to get in contact with some of those people because to our listeners, for our next, I guess it would be 3 podcasts, we are in for a wild time-changing, questionably internet wild ride. So,
and like I won't have my mic
with us. Oh, you're not bringing. I brought my mic to Massachusetts.
You brought your mic to Massachusetts. I'm sorry that I'm going to France, and then I don't want to like ship my mic back when I go to Greece. My bad. My bad. I'm the worst. So yeah, I mean I don't really know what else to do.
So anyone who lives internationally and listens to this podcast, please help us.
Yeah, please help us.
We need help.
This is gonna be something. Like I've been dreading these 2 weeks, not because I'm going away, but I've been dreading these 2 weeks just because I know that this could be like really awful, and especially since it's the finale. Like I hate it. We're still gonna try to give you 3 episodes worth of material here. Recap. Whatever, and a recap, predictions and a recap. So hopefully that happens.
We care about you guys. We're gonna see what we can do here.
We'll see what happens.
Yes. So I guess that being said, cross your fingers to tune in Wednesday night. We'll give you a time, but probably 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern.
9. There's no way it's 10 p.m.
Because it's later for you. Okay, 9 on the dot Eastern. Phil's going to be awake and ready to take the day or the night. Right after the episode, we're going to be live. If we have any issues, we'll obviously let you know. But at the moment, we are going as scheduled. So in the meantime, leave us some comments on this. If you have a cool name for me, throw them at me for what my nickname should be. I
still like the girl.
I like Alexa, the female, yeah. If you have any advice for Phil on his potential internet issues, on his streaming, leave us a comment there. Give us a subscription at the Survivor Specialist on YouTube and iTunes, and tweet at us at Phil_and_Will. And we will be in touch.
Yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully on Wednesday-ish.